Now, I would say, and you can be free to disagree with me if you like, that in fact I hope you will because it'll be boring if everybody agrees. So, right, Isaac? Yeah, no, so like we don't argue, it's not really any fun, right? So so the thing is like, I would say that a community that is buying up, say, just for argument's sake, is extending their range and their kind of like out to other people, shouldn't be so nervous about these people looking back into the community and like wondering what's going on there. Like for instance, as a secular Jew and somebody who is a product of the so-called Enlightenment, I find it a little strange that people don't believe in evolution, I mean, it just bothers me a little bit. Not that much because I don't really care if you believe in evolution. But it might be pointed out if you're running if you're running schools where they're not teaching. It seems like everybody's bent out of shape if these people like Sarah Palin, who's running for vice president, a lunatic fundamentalist is running for vice president, and she doesn't believe in evolution, then everybody's all upset about it, right? But if the people of our particular team, our co-religionists, don't believe in evolution, well, we don't want to talk about that. So like, and it's like one of these kind of things like where what's off limits and what's on limits, and what can you talk about and what can't you talk about? I mean, from a point of view of a journalist like myself who's working for a secular publication, which is read by a lot of Jews that happen to be secular.
Well, let me jump in. Why do you think that your secular friends thought it was a great article?
Because they can't. Because why? There's many reasons.
Okay.
Well, first of all, it's so well written. And these people that actually understand English can like that, right? They didn't grow up like learning Yiddish as their first language. I don't write in Yiddish, but if I wrote in Yiddish, I'm sure people wouldn't like it so much.
Most of the Orthodox Jews speak English and Yiddish and Hebrew and some Aramaic. They only speak English.
So yes.
They speak English well.
Well, I mean, Isaac, are you claiming that the people from Curious Joel speak English well? I mean, really, give me a break.
Well enough to amass a real estate fortune.
Well, I mean, does that mean?
Okay, so it's well enough.
Well enough. All right. But I mean, like, I'm talking about to appreciate this high prose that we're talking about. It's a different thing, right? So I mean, well, that's one reason. All right. So like another reason would be, I would say, and I don't want to get anybody mad, but I think that many secular Jews look at the Orthodox community and they go like, fat. So
well, that's what I
so
thank you for honest.
No, it's a fat situation. Like, what is with these cats? Why are they acting this way?
Right. So in other words, the secular liberal people have no.
And secular conservative people as well.
No, have no time, have no space in their mind and in their lives for Orthodox Jews to live.
That's not true. That's a mischaracterization of what I was going to say.
What,
Even though I haven't said it yet, it's a mischaracterization.
What is it?
I think it like people.
Why are they so happy? They're not happy by every article.
No, it's true. It's true. But the thing is, like, I think that a lot of people, there's a lot of because of there's a lot of misunderstanding. A lot of misunderstanding between different kinds of Jews. Now, and I think that secular Jews who probably keep Shabbos like, not too much, but who identify themselves as Jews, who easily could get killed by the Nazis as well as anybody with like crazy outfit, wearing this big overcoat in the middle of the summer, they can get killed just like them, right? So therefore, when you intersect with the Orthodox community, and they're looking at you and they tell you like you're not a Jew, and people take that the wrong way, they just do, so like therefore there's some built-up resentment towards the Orthodox community, and the Orthodox community, because of their particular way they think, are not really interested.
You're blaming the animus that exists between the religious and secular communities entirely on the prejudice of the religious people?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
The reason why they're so happy to see the Orthodox community slammed, and they're so
slammed is the wrong word. I mean, I'm gonna stay here and defend myself
Okay,
here.
I have a different question.
Oh, go ahead. John, ask me.
Regardless of the question of the ethics of the ethics of defending your own identity.
Okay.
From a journalistic perspective, wouldn't there be something a bit unethical about following a story entirely from the perspective of one side without really getting a strong grasp of what the merits of the other case may be?
I just want to interject.
Or really presenting...
speaking properly.
That's right, yeah, they don't
There's gonna be a test on it.
Or what?
There's gonna be a test on this later.
Or at least presenting the merits of the other side with some dignity.
Well, I mean, see, your objection is well taken, and I'm not saying that this article is perfect, and I would have done it differently if I had to do it again, somewhat. But I still would have just taken, I would have followed her point of view. The story's about her. It's not about the entire community. And actually, the fact that the community took it as about them is, to me, part of the misunderstanding I'm talking about.
I would assume that the reason that it merited a front page, some of the popularity that it did was because of the sensationalism that's basically the nature of a New York Magazine article.
Yeah, the title, by the way.
That is taking a stand. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Well,
the headline
I mean,
was like, why Gina was like challenged by her community. Why she was like.
Yeah, it said, why are the lawsuits trying to
there-
for
there's
being
some-
well, I
not?
mean,
sensationalism to the style of
let
New
me
York
just say one
Magazine
thing first.
article.
The writer doesn't pick the pictures, and he doesn't make the
Okay,
headline.
but it's still the writer is still ethically bound to his work.
No, all you have to do
You
is
didn't
state
take
the
the
truth
pictures?
and let the people. I disagree with you. If the guy wants to write a story and state, he says that I didn't speak to the other side, that's fine. You're not right there.
It's from the woman's point of view. Why not? What's wrong with that? That's what he's doing.
I don't really feel like.
That's all the article pretends to be. So what's the
And
problem?
if you try and go speak to the other side, they don't speak to
Well,
you.
it's not only what it pretends to be.
If I hear
What do you mean by that? It's not
Because
all it
information is
pretends to be.
power. If I pretend to be presenting a satire that's going to have a very bad effect on a certain segment of society, then yeah, I can present it as a satire, but
Well,
it's still
I mean,
I still am harming people.
Well, I mean,
why
why
is
don't you
the
explain
fact
to
that you're
me?
stating
Why don't you
your
explain to me
goal,
what the terrible effects
all
of this
absolving?
article was on that community?
What?
Explain to me why it's such a terrible thing.
No, I don't think it's a terrible thing. I just think it's sensationalistic.
Well, hello, Shembe, who's deciding what it is?
I
don't
think
it's
it's a dangerous thing because it will close up the
Yeah.
entire community.
Talking about what happened afterwards.
I don't think it's a terrible thing. I don't think it's a terrible thing.
I mean, so I mean, like, you feel that you feel I should have you feel that as a journalist I should have talked to her ex-husband and gotten his side of the point of view. I mean, no, why should I do that?
Her ex-husband, but
You
at
know,
least you
I
could
mean,
present
it's a
his
story
case
about a
as
custody
well-rounded
case, right?
story.